Hey, what's up everyone? James here, and today we are covering Transformers: The Last Bot Standing. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too. So if you guys saw my theory video on Last Bot Standing, you guys know I was definitely wrong about who the last bot is. But anyways, let's dive into this first issue. So the story opens in the far, far distant future, long after the end of the Great War between the Autobots and the Decepticons. We see a small space pod hurtling towards this planet called Donnokt. It crashes and lands in the desert. We then see a mysterious bot coming out of the pod. From there, we go to the town of Fembrance, where we get introduced to our main character, Shib Walkus, who runs a family delivery business called Walkus Wagons with her younger brothers Trayvon and Beats. They're returning from a long 7-day journey picking up goods for Dr. Tonder, and we then see Stambo and Brennet racing in their steam ramblers. They're basically the rich kids of this town. Shib gets into an argument with Stambo after he and Brennet drift dirt on her. She calls him a little boy driving daddy's little toy, and says to Stambo and Brennet that neither of them knows what work is. However, Stambo replies saying they just got done a job with their steam ramblers, which Shib is surprised to hear. Stambo tells Shib that they're in the delivery business now and are faster and cheaper than her. So these jerks are just undercutting Shib's family business. Stambo brags that his steam rambler will never get tired as long as treasure keeps being found on the hills. And we'll hear more about this treasure in a bit. When Shib tries to reply saying no one in town would pick them over her business, Stambo cuts her off, revealing to her that Dr. Tonder hired them for a job. And as Stambo drives off, he tells Shib to switch businesses or reconsider the merger he brought before her. And I think we'll learn what the merger is in another issue. We don't find out in this one. Dr. Tonder then approaches Shib, and in this discussion, we see Shib feels betrayed by Dr. Tonder. The fact that he hired Stambo and Brennet, the rich kids of the town, who don't need the money over her, especially since she just worked 7 days straight picking up orders for him. Dr. Tonder tells Shib that he only hired Stambo because she was out of town and needed local items. But he does point out though that the steam ramblers are faster and cheaper. And this gets Shib pissed. She tells him that her family's never raised their prices and they don't charge much. Any money they do earn goes to her family and her horses, Sparks and Firebolt. And I know they're not horses, but the issue doesn't say what species they are. And no money needs to go towards the wagon because it's been sturdy as the day it came into the family. However, Dr. Tonder still suggests to Shib that since life is moving faster these days, she should partner up with one of the mining concerns and modernize her wagon. Shib refuses though and says since the substance she calls Fizzbang was discovered on the hills, and this is the treasure that Stambo was referring to, and most likely we'll find out it's Energon. Since this was discovered, the town and the people have been changing, and this change worries Shib. And Dr. Tonder mentions to her how her family has always been warriors, but Shib's worries do come from a legitimate place because these changes could put her family out of business. And Shib doesn't like change because, as she tells Dr. Tonder, change was forced upon her when her parents died at a young age. After their death, she had to run the family business and take care of her younger brothers, which is a lot for a kid. After Dr. Tonder pays Shib for her delivery, Shib and her brothers head home in their wagon. We then quickly see the bot that arrived in the space pod crossing the desert and discovering the town of Fembrance. After putting her brothers to bed at home, Shib opens a panel in her wood floor beneath a rug and then tends to a small box of family heirlooms that includes photos, money, and a set of vial necklaces containing a blue fluid. And I won't be surprised if we find out this is Energon. Maybe her family are the ones who discovered it or had it before it was discovered. We don't know. Suddenly she gets a knock at the door, and it's the sheriff of Fembrance, Dr. Tonder, and some townfolk who have come calling to ask for her help in rescuing a group of wounded miners trapped up in the mountain. When Shib asks Stambo why they aren't using a steam rambler, Dr. Tonder mentions how steam ramblers don't do well in unfriendly terrain. Shib accepts the job and goes to help, and then from there we go to hours later with her returning with Dr. Tonder and the group of injured miners. The people are celebrating her return. Her brothers tell her she should have woken them up, and even Stambo tells tells her she did a good job. However, celebrations are cut short when the people see the bot who crash landed coming towards them. We see the people are freaking out, and I find it interesting when one of the citizens here says it's come from the stories, hasn't it? This makes me think maybe the people of Fembrance have stories passed down throughout the generations about Cybertronians. But anyways, Shib directs her brothers to get the people away as the bot scans everything. Then Shib's wagon starts to move and drives toward the bot, then slowly transforms as the bot says, "You're not supposed to be here." Shib's wagon is revealed to be Rodimus Prime, saying only one word: die. Rodimus grips the bot, smashing him into the ground as the bot is trying to talk to him. Rodimus punches him in the face as the bot is saying they're brothers. The bot pushes Rodimus back, asking what his name is. Rodimus mumbles it, and we get a quick glimpse of a flashback with Rodimus in a ship and 2 other mysterious bots with him being attacked by enemy ships and set to land on Donnokt. Amidst the chaos, the Sheriff of Fembrance directs citizens to grab their weapons. We then see the bot approaching Rodimus, saying, "You found us a new home." Rodimus replies, "This place is not for us," and throws the bot back. Rodimus then punches and stomps on the bot, saying, "Not the same, you hear me?" The bot is begging for his life, replying, "This is fate. I'm so weak and hungry. Don't do this." But Rodimus doesn't care one bit. He punches the bot and rips his head off, saying, "You cannot be here." Standing over the dead bot's body, he says, "My name is Rodimus, and I have no kin." Shib runs over to Rodimus, and Rodimus asks her, "Do I know you?" I found that very interesting. It's as if his entire time pretending to be a regular wagon, he's been asleep, not aware of anything. The people of Fembrance point their weapons at Rodimus, and I love Rodimus's reaction to this. He just says, "Really? After what you saw me do to this guy?" The people are quickly like, "You know what? You're right." Rodimus says, "Don't follow me. You've seen why." But unbeknownst to Rodimus and the people of Fembrance, a second pod crash lands in the desert, and the mysterious bot coming out of this pod is revealed to be Moon. And that is the end of Last Bot Standing issue 1. This issue was so cool and a nice start to the last series of IDW's Transformerverse. I like Old Man Rodimus Prime. I'm left with so many questions. I'm wondering who the 2 other bots were with Rodimus in that flashback. Moon's arrival at the end is crazy to me because everything I read about that character is that he had a counterpart named Artemis and is a good character. So where is Artemis, and is Moon evil? If any of you know more, please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and if you want more Transformers content, check out my video on Beast Wars or check out my playlist covering IDW's Transformerverse timeline. Other than that, have an awesome day, and always remember every day to go beyond.